Hi guys, I hope that you're all doing well. Today's lesson we'll break down different topics in paper 1 as well as paper 2 for mathematics. I'll tell you guys every single topic that you should expect in those respective papers, and I'll let you know which topics that you have to start with. So I prepared this document. If you want to have access to this document, you can send us an email or drop us a WhatsApp text. Let's go through it. National Senior Certificate, Mathematics Topic Breakdown for Grade 12 CAPS. In South Africa, the National Senior Certificate (NSC) mathematics curriculum is split into two 150-mark examination papers. Below is the comprehensive topic-by-topic structural breakdown for both Paper 1 and Paper 2. In Paper 1, we have algebraic and analytical focus. It's worth 150 marks and the duration is 3 hours. Let's just highlight the topics quickly. We'll discuss all these different subtopics. Firstly, we have algebra, equations, as well as inequalities. It's worth about 50 marks. Number 2, we have number patterns, series and sequences, which is a topic I believe you guys started with in grade 12. It's also worth about 25 marks. We also have functions and graphs that you guys learned, I think, in grade 9 as well as grade 10. It's also worth about, it's worth about 35 marks. We then have financial mathematics or finance. It's worth about 15 marks. We have differential calculus. It's worth about 35 marks. And we also have probability and counting principles. It's worth about 15 marks. Let's quickly go through the Paper 2 topics. Paper 2 is geometric and visual focus. It's worth 150 marks and duration is also 3 hours. So the first topic is normally statistics. We have statistics and regression. It's worth about 20 marks. We have analytical geometry, which is worth about 40 marks. We have trigonometry. It's worth about 50 marks. And we also have Euclidean geometry that's worth about 40 marks. So let's go to Paper 1 again and discuss all these different topics. In Paper 1, we have algebra, equations, and inequalities. Okay, this is worth about 25 marks. And the algebra, guys, in algebra, we have our expressions, we have factorization, exponents, products, and different fractions that you guys see all fall under algebra. This is a very big topic that we were introduced to in, I believe, grade 7, if not earlier. So in algebra, we have quadratic equations and inequalities, solving via factorization or using the quadratic formula, along with testing intervals on a number line for inequalities. Okay, we also have simultaneous equations, which includes solving two equations with two unknown, one linear, and one quadratic expression, okay, where we solve two equations at the same time. We also have exponents and surds, simplifying structural expression patterns, rationalizing denominators, and solving exponential equations. For example, matching bases or applying the case substitution. The case substitution, I believe, was introduced in grade 10. We do have an algebra playlist. The exponents playlist is a playlist on its own. Then for algebra, it is another topic. So if you want to master algebra, I'd recommend you check out our grade 10 playlist. Okay. We also have nature of roots. Analyzing the discriminant to determine whether roots are real, non-real, rational, irrational, or equal. Let's move to number patterns, series, and sequences. That's worth about 25 marks. When you first start with your grade 12 topic in January, I believe this is the topic most teachers start with. However, you need to learn algebra, equations, and inequalities first. And you guys will understand this once you go through the second document where I tell you which topic that you need to start with, okay? So under number patterns, we have arithmetic, sequences, and series. Linear patterns defined by a common difference, deriving and applying formulas. Those are your formulae. We also have geometric, sequences, and series. Exponential patterns defined by a common ratio utilizing. This video is probably brought to you by McDonald's. Download the McDonald's app today and start earning points every time you order your favorite meals. The more points you collect, the closer you get to exciting rewards like free burgers, desserts, drinks, and more. Simply order through the app, collect points, and redeem them for delicious treats once you've reached the required threshold. Get the McDonald's app now for more information and start enjoying rewards with every bite. These formulae, quadratic number patterns, sequences carrying a constant second-term difference represented by that formula. We also have sigma notation as well as infinite geometric series. Remember, if you need this document, please just send us an email. Now we have a very big topic, which is functions and graphs that we've learned in the early grades. You have standard graphs, sketching, mapping, interpreting, parabolas, hyperbolas, and exponential functions. We have inverse of functions, You're formulating algebraic expressions and sketching corresponding reflections across the line symmetry y is equal to x. Note, restricting the domain of a quadratic function y is equal to x squared to ensure its inverse remains a function is heavily prioritized. Okay? Then logarithms, logs, applying the fundamental definition to solve complex variables or graph the inverse properties of exponential models. Let's move to number 4. We have financial mathematics. That's worth about 15 marks. It just depends on who sets your paper and how they set it. It could be more or it could be 15. Simple and compound decay, real-world calculation of straight line and reducing balance depreciation models. You have nominal versus effective interest rates. I believe this was introduced in grade 12. Converting structural interest rates by varying across varying compounding angles. You also have annuities. You have a future value, which includes saving, capital investments, recurring deposits, and corporate sinking funds. I also have a document that has every single financial mathematics formula. So I'll break down all these topics. Some of these topics are available on a YouTube channel. We want to cover more topics. For the ones that aren't available, you can always send us an email, request a video, or ask for our study guides. We have present value as well, structured home loans, also known as bonds, automotive payments, outstanding balance assessments, and deferred schedules where payments commence post-standard timelines. Let's move to number 5, differential calculus. It's worth about 35 marks. You have limits, direct evaluation of fundamental limits such as h approaches O, derivative from first principles, proving derivative equations manually through the limit expression. There's the formula. Rules of differentiation, direct differentiation of algebraic terms using that formula, inclusive of initial algebraic simplifications of fractional powers and surds. You have cubic polynomials, locating intercepts, computing stationary turning points, calculating points of inflection, and execution of clean curve sketches. You also have calculus optimization, applied structural problem solving, encompassing rates of change, areas, or volume dimensions to determine maximum or minimum constraints. Lastly, let's go to probability and accounting principles. Basic probability laws, practical mapping through Venn diagrams, contingency tables, independent occurrences, and mutually exclusive events. We also have fundamental accounting principle, implementing factorial notation to solve structural arrangements, permutations, and combinations with or without repeating elements. Now let's move to paper 2, where we have our geometry, our analytical geometry, as well as our stats. Starting with stats, we have statistics and regressions worth about 20 marks. It could be 15, it could be 20. It just depends on how they set your paper. So you have data representation, construction of interpretation of histograms, frequency, polygons, and ogives, cumulative frequency curves. You also have measures of central tendency and dispersion, calculating the mean, variance, standard deviation, metrics, and constructing 5-number summaries, box and whisker plots. We also have bivariate data, mapping scatter plots, modeling the line of best fit via the least squares regression line equation, and evaluating the strength of the correlation coefficient. You also have an analytical geometry that's worth about 40 marks. We have foundational mechanics. We also have circles as well as tangents to circles. Let's move to trigonometry. It's worth about 50 marks. We have reduction formulae and identities. This is basically your grade 11 trigonometry, where you have the reduction formula, cofunctions or co-ratios, negative angles, numerical reductions, trig equations, and so on. So you need to know your basics. The grade 11 trigonometry playlist is featured, so when you watch it, it'll say trigonometry grade 11 and 12, as it's exactly the same thing. The difference is where they add the second subtopic, which is compound and double angles, expressing and condescending expressions using those formulae. You also have trig equations, trig graphs, as well as 2D and 3D problems. Number 4, lastly, we have Euclidean geometry. That's worth about 40 marks. You have circle geometry, formula applying the 9 core circle theorems. We also have the proportion and intercept theorem, proving lines parallel to one side of a triangle divide the remaining sides proportionally. We also have similarity as well as theorem proofs. So these are all the different topics under grade 12 mathematics. Now let's go to a document where I explain which topic you should start with first. This is the second document that I can also share. As you guys can see, it says complete paper 1 and paper 2, complete paper 1 and paper 2, topic order and learning roadmap. This is the best way to do your mathematics. Trust me, you guys. So for paper 1, let's start with the first part. You have algebraic foundations and equations. You should know your basics, okay? Do not start with number patterns, even though it's the first topic they taught you guys. This will help you in term 3 as well as term 4. So you have algebraic foundations and equations, you have your exponents and surds, products and factorization, algebraic fractions, in that exact order. When you go to our algebra playlist, you'll see that we first tell you to go to the exponents playlist, and then we teach you guys products, and then we teach you factorization, and then algebraic expressions. The order matters because mathematics is cumulative. If you don't understand the topic that you should do first, you will fail the next one. You also have quadratic equations and inequalities, simultaneous equations, as well as nature of roots. After algebra, you have to go to pattern series and sequences, okay? From there, you can go to functions, graphs, as well as inverses, and then go to finance, growth and decay, differential calculus, as well as probability. This is the best way in which you can study for your question paper. However, from number pattern series and sequences, you can try finance if you want to do functions as the last topic. However, you cannot do differential calculus without doing functions first, okay? You can do probability last because it's a very tricky topic. It might make sense when a teacher teaches you probability in class, but once it's one-on-one, once you see it in a question paper, it'll be a very confusing topic. So the 15 marks is not worth it. I'd rather you master every single topic. Algebraic foundations isn't a complex topic. You can do this in a matter of days, okay? You need to master algebra, your number pattern series and sequences. I know that with this topic, there are different exam question papers that try to trick you or try to steal marks from you. But if you sit down and try different question papers after you've either watched the lessons or went through different lessons with your tutor or your teacher, then you can master pattern series and sequences. Then functions, you really need to practice this. Finance as well. You could get some easy marks in finance. As long as you know the formula, you'll be good. You just need to substitute. With calculus, it goes with functions, as I've said, and then probability should be your last topic. In paper 2, you can always start with analytical geometry. It's the most approachable topic, okay? You'll first know the basics, go to the grade 11 work and then the grade 12 work. You have coordinate geometry foundations. This is your foundation. You need to know your distance formula, your midpoint formula, gradient formula, and then go to the inclination of lines, circles and equations, tangents to circles, and then go to trigonometry. Trigonometry is the second most approachable topic here, if I may say. Stats is also an approachable topic. It's just very exhausting for a pure mathematics learner. So we teach trigonometry in the best manner on this channel. There are learners that didn't know much about the topic. As soon as they watched the lessons, they mastered over 80% of trigonometry. So we tell you guys which topics that you have to start with. You know that you have your algebra. You should know your factorization, your laws of exponents. You should also know your algebraic fractions. And then in trigonometry, tell you that we have your reduction formula, cofunctions or co-ratios, negative angles, numerical reductions. You should know how to use your special triangles. You then have your tricks, ways in which they can ask you about trig in your exams. They could give you an angle that is greater than 360 degrees, which is something that you're not used to. So you just subtract 360. And then you have your trigonometric equations as well as general solution. Oh, and your trig identities as well. Then you have your trig graphs as well as 2D and 3D trigonometry. Okay, trig graphs are available. They'll be available in the next few days, as well as 2D and 3D trigonometry for grade 12 learners. Number 3, you have Euclidean geometry, which is a very tricky topic for learners. I believe it's introduced in grade 9, if I'm not mistaken. Most of geometry, actually, not the Euclidean part. So grade 11, circle theorem revision. You also have your proportionality theorem, which was introduced in grade 12, as well as similarity theorem. This is a very confusing topic. Try analytical trigonometry and then Euclidean. And then you have your statistics. And this is the second document. I'll also share this with you guys. I hope this lesson was helpful. If you have any questions, you can always comment or send us a WhatsApp text. I hope to see you guys in one of our lessons. So we'll cover all these different topics and try to explain them in the best manner possible. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.
We are the top learners of classes in session, and we have received 1,000 Rand cash prize for our academic journey.